Hey, there we go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be where you are out there. Welcome back to the live stream. My name is Jeff Fritz.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
Today is December 26th, 2019. Look at all them gritties. And we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna write a little bit of code today. How's it going there, chat room? Extorted is here. Hello, hello. Tagger on. Good afternoon. Rambling Geek. Hello, hello. MBB. Thanks so much for those gritties. Is Ulger? Is that how you pronounce that? Welcome. Hello, hello. Thanks for joining us. I like this week in between. I hope you had a great Christmas. Those of you out there that celebrate, those of you that are celebrating Hanukkah, day 6 is today. Today's the 6th day of Hanukkah. Do I have that right? All the best to you and yours, and happy holidays to the rest of you. Kwanzaa, I think, starts here. So all the best to everybody celebrating in these winter holidays. I like this week between Christmas and New Year's. A lot of folks have off because they're celebrating all different holidays, and particularly here in the States. And it's a good time to where folks are relaxing and they want to tune in. They want to check out their new tablet, their new phone, their new Xbox, whatever, and they want to watch some things on Twitch. And it's a great opportunity for folks to find us and tune in and have a good time learning a little bit of code with us, having some fun, getting to meet me.
Just for fun.
That's me. How's it going? Copper Beardy is here. Hello. Good to see you. Copper Beardy is another member of the Live Coders team. Thanks so much for tuning in. So a couple things that I want to cover today. I've got a new Flyers hat on. My daughters gave me this hat for Christmas yesterday. And you can't see it, but I have a new Darth Vader shirt on. Right, it says impressive, most impressive. I say that a lot. I do say that a lot. I need to find that audio clip and get that dialed in here so that maybe I can make it so that you can trigger it out there, chat room. And actually, I finished wiring up. We were working on, in our previous videos here, we were working on connecting to the Twitch pub sub service, right, where you subscribe to notifications on Twitch, and Twitch will publish pub sub. They will publish notifications to your subscription and tell you, hey, something happened here. And we were using that to connect up channel points. Well, if I've got it set up and running, I can run a quick test here. It will notify when there's been a redemption. Pretty cool, huh? So we've got that finished and built in. You can find that out in the source code repository, out on my GitHub. You can find that on the Fritz Stream Tools repository if you're interested in following along and seeing more about that and how we built that. It turns out I was running into a problem where I wasn't sending, I was in the wrong encoding. I was sending UTF-8 and I should have been sending ASCII. And I was also, you have to use the channel owner credentials in order to get notifications for that channel. Brave Cobra, good to see you. Hello, hello. So we got that set up and it's all done. Dual mic setup. That's right, Lewis Kennan, because I use this when I change my voice. If you want to use the channel points to redeem and get me to change my voice into all kinds of different things here, I'll use that microphone. So we just keep it out of the way up there. NetJam Jr., hello, hello. Welcome in. So one of the things that I got for Christmas that my mother, Mama C Sharp Fritz, you'll see her sometimes here on the channel. She's JAF1021. I got a Yubikey. There it is. You can see it right there. Go ahead, focus in on that webcam. See it right there? So it's got a little spot on the front of it that you can touch, and it'll send a signal through to the PC. But it's intended to go on your keys so that you can use this as two-factor authentication. You can store some information on here about your PGP keys, all kinds of stuff, so that you can use this to authenticate as your second-factor authentication instead of getting a text message on your phone or having a number generator or something like that. Use a smart card like these. MBB asks, would I be comfortable sharing the total amount I was able to donate? We're not done yet. We're still, Moist Booty Boy there is referring to the money all the money that comes in for every subscription, every cheer here on the channel. I donate this quarter to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. You can see the Tiltify that I've been donating through just below the video here on Twitch. So if you're watching on YouTube, sorry about that, but you can see the Tiltify there. As of today, the number is just over $1,900, and my employer has matched all of that. So we've done quite well. And if you want to make a donation directly to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, you can go ahead and do that. If you do subscribe or cheer through the channel here through Twitch, you get to see whatever effects happen on screen, and you get that month support, month of emotes and all that fun stuff, and you'll be making a donation to St. Jude. So that's where we are right now. The final donation for December will go through in January 15th is about when they pay that. But we're about, I think the latest numbers that I saw, I wanted to reach $3,000 across the 3 months here. We're about $500-600 short right now. And I didn't specifically want to do a fundraising stream. That's not my bag. That's not something that I'm. There are other folks that do a tremendous job fundraising. I was extremely pleased. It felt amazing to see Dr. Lupo and the success that he had over the weekend, raising money, more than $2 million for St. Jude, and that's tremendous. He does a great job of that. That's not something that I wanted to get into this month. I may do it for May, when they have their larger month. We can plan something out and do something really interesting where we can learn together, build something, and raise money for St. Jude and have some fun. So we'll see about that. Brave Cobra says, found to be reliable to do MFA, multi-factor authentication, as hardware can break, but then software can be hacked. You're referring to Yubikey. Oh, I still have the alerts turned off? Oh no. Mr. Wilkaface, thank you so much for that. Let me turn the alerts back on. Where are they? Let me turn them back on. I had them turned off because we were doing there we go. I'll turn that back on. My apologies. Thank you so much, Mr. Wilkaface, for the resub with Twitch Prime, and I'll make a donation to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital for that. Now, I didn't see the font change alert come through. No. That's the one that I redeemed. I'm sorry. I did see that one. Kirgo!
Kirgo36 just subscribed.
Thank you so much for that subscription. And yes, there's another donation we'll make. Thank you so much. Always happy to continue those donations. Oh my god! Oh my god!
Moist Booty Boy just gifted 100 subs.
Are you freaking kidding me? MPB, that is way generous. Over the top. Oh my good lord. Holy, 100 gift subs into the channel. Wow, absolutely for the kids. Right there. Friends, that is
inconceivable.
Thank you. Yeah, we're gonna make a stack of donations right there. Can somebody clip? Absolutely, can somebody clip that? Let's get me closer to that goal. Thank you very much.
Let me add some value.
That's a lot of value.
Hype.
Thank you so much, Svava, for that cheer. Thank you, Moist Booty Boy, for 100 gift subs. Wow. I can't even read them all. There's so many of them. I mean, there's 100 of them. Duh.
Go!
Yeah. Wow. Congratulations, everybody, on your gift subs. Thank you very much. So many good people here getting their first subscription. Welcome in, everybody. Yes, holy heck indeed. That gets us a lot closer to that goal. Wow. Yeah, and please, if you want to share those links out there on social media to the clip, and let people know that we're donating the rest of the way. Right, we've got about another week here. We'll have about a handful more streams where we'll write some code together. We'll build some things, and every cheer, every sub, we'll send over to St. Jude. Thank you very, very much. That is over the top. I love the URL. They randomly generate the words that they glued together to make these URLs for the clips. Distinct savory jellyfish caparos. I like my distinct savory jellyfish. Very cool. MBB, I've got to do this. This is I'm going to drop a VIP on you. Thank you so much. Put that VIP gem next to your name. That is over the top kind of you to share that. Let me get some music playing here in the background. My goodness. I'm all aflutter. I don't know what to say. This is Orange from Music to Code By. I cleared off some of the things from OneDrive, and I keep my Music to Code By on OneDrive. There it is. Music to Code By. This is music from our friend Mr. Carl Franklin. Scientifically designed. It's been engineered to get you in the groove, get you in the flow, so that whatever task you may be working on, you can get focused and get stuff done. You know what? This is a little... There it is. Check it out. MTCB. It is lyricless. It does have a beat. I'm trying to raise the volume here a little bit because this is a quiet one. There we go. Check it out, mtcb.pwop.com. You can get your copy. Thank you so much, Carl, for letting us listen to your music while we write some code here. Songs to test by. Yeah. All right. You have 1,999 Fritz bits. Well, cash them in. Have some fun with that. Yes, Carl has researched this. He's done some work on this. So I wanted to spend some time setting up my Yubikey so that I can start signing my my code a little bit faster. And I wanted to walk through what that process looked like, and then get back into get back into writing some more Blazor components. Write some C# code that will render a component, but looks and feels like some of those old web forms components that we had back in the day for ASP.NET developers, and all those folks that have tons and tons and tons of legacy applications hanging out there. And then they want to migrate them. Let's see if we can give them some markup that looks like their current code. What do you think? Thank you, Brave Cobra, for the and then. Hey, Sean, good to see you. Panda in a tub, you want to make my life miserable by redeeming cool things? Please do. I look forward to it. I have my Gunner optics here, and there's still a discount code available for that. You can use the code C# link down below, and you can get, I think it's 10% off a pair of Gunner optic glasses. And I've got my sunglasses here when you request light mode, because I know somebody's going to request light mode. I don't know who it's going to be, but somebody's going to put me into light mode here. All right, what do you say we take a look at what's involved in setting up the Yubikey? Oh, look who's here, JAF 1021.
Hey, Mom! We get some meatloaf! We want it now!
We do.
The meatloaf!
Meatloaf.
What's she doing?
I don't know.
I never know what she's doing.
She's setting up her new iPad is what she's doing. Yes. No, Brave Cobra, don't grab Java. Don't do that. No.
Inconceivable!
Do I notice a significant difference with the Gunners on? Yes, I do, actually. Yes, I do. Just a viewer, good morning. Welcome in. Yes, Copper Beardy. In fact, she got a brand new iPad. Brand new iPad. You can get your Java next year with Java Interop, says no content. Yeah. That's one of the things that we should... No guarantees. It might be cut, but that's one of the things that we should be able to do with .NET 5. The next version of .NET, because .NET 5 is going to integrate with all the Xamarin things. And Xamarin integrates with Java because they need that to work for Android development. So that's a thing. Might be able to do something with that next year. So, how's it going, Mom? How's your day after Christmas so far? Your Boxing Day. We don't do Boxing Day here in the States. Let me head over. I want to show you what this looks like. So it was actually my father that got me the Yubikey here. Let me head over to the code. Hey, there we go. So this isn't where I wanted to start. I wanted to start over here. So when you get one of these things, there it is. You're supposed to put it into your PC, and it tells you to navigate to this page, yubico.com/setup, and select my Yubikey. Well, I have a Yubikey 5, so let me click through there. And then it says, well, select an application, and it'll help you get set up, and you can see the full list of services. That looks like a terrible user interface there. There they are. That's better. So you can use it to sign into all these things. I want to focus on getting it working with PGP. I use GPG, actually, to sign my code whenever I push it out to GitHub. And I want to make sure that that's easy for me to do going forward. So I tried a little bit of this already. So I went up here and I tried keying in GPG, and there's nothing for that. I tried keying in PGP, and there's nothing for that. But if I key in OpenPGP, there's still nothing for that. So I did a search, and there is a GitHub instructions. Then this gives you the two-factor authentication to sign into GitHub. Let me get back to that one. I've already got that configured. I don't want to change it up just yet. But that's a thing. Extorted says, I wish it was easier to set up committed signing on Windows with the Yubikey. So let's go through that. I hope it's easy. Let's see what happens here. Brave Cobra says, for some reason I'm concerned about hardware breaking when using these keys. Could I elaborate on that and how that won't be a problem? Well, how's it going to break? It's sitting right there. I mean, I suppose if it was on a keychain and your keys are rustling and banging around, they could snap. I've heard of that happening to folks, certainly. And Just a Viewer just ordered a Yubikey. Hey, Yubico, call me. So I don't want to do GitHub for two-factor, right? Because I've already got, right, these are the instructions to set up two-factor authentication for GitHub, but I already have that set up with my phone, with a token generation application. So I don't want to do that. That's something I can come back and do later because I already have it working. But I Googled with Bing, actually DuckDuckGo, and I found this article, using your Yubikey with OpenPGP. Now, I don't know why I couldn't find it when I searched for it over here. But here's the article. It's on their website. So, and it works with the Yubikey 5 Nano, 5 NFC. That's the one. That's this one that I have here. And so I figured, well, why not? Let's go through this. You can add multiple keys to each account, so if one breaks, another will still let you in. Oh, that's cool. All right, thank you, Extorted. So I've plugged in my key. Nothing popped up or anything to say, hey, you've got a key installed here. And Stelzy chimes in, do I have the GNU Privacy Assistant from GNU PG installed? GNUPG.org. Let me see what that looks like. GNU Privacy Guard. Blah, 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 blah. Financial results for 2016. Oh, that's good. But we do have latest releases as of December 7th. Nice. An Outlook plugin to send and receive. GPG for Win is 3.1.10. So what I did was I went and installed. I started following these instructions, and I downloaded GPG for Win is what I went and installed. So I thought I'd go down this way, and as I started going through this, I thought I remembered reading an article about this, how to do this, because it wants me to generate a new key at this point. I was like, well, I've already got a key for this. And our friend Scott Hanselman actually wrote a blog post about doing this exact same thing, and he's jumping in at the same point that I am, where he's already got a key set up in Keybase that he's using. SNB
just resubscribed for 20 months. Christmas sabonga.
Thank you so much for that. We'll make another donation to St. Jude. Appreciate the 20 months. Very cool. So I started looking through, and I've already got Cleopatra running here, and there's my my imported key. Yeah, it was Scott that helped out here. So I've already got the key imported, and there's the key ID and the validity. It's good until 2034. I hope I'm good until 2034. Right? Where's the sound effect? I have sound effects for this. I hope I'm good until 2034. All right. So I have that already set up. So you'll need to add a new UID to your private key. So this is about where I'm at. I've already got my private key and I've got it added in. So email, name, trust level. Yeah. So it's already here with my email address. Okay. As in my case, since I'm using a key from Keybase, you'll need to add a new UID to your private key. You'll know you got it right when this command and you see your email address. I've already got it there. It's right. If I click into this, right, so it's got my Gmail, it's got my GitHub, it's got my Microsoft. So it's all already there with my fingerprint. But should I have that at Keybase IO? Because I am running Keybase. Not that. Turn off Steam. Go away. We don't want Steam popping up. There it is. Keybase. Right. So if I look at my profile, there it is. And that's not this. That is the same address. There it is. Back and forth between the two. So I'm okay with that, I think, from Keybase. So we're going to set up this Yubikey SMB so that I can sign my commits using this and don't have to key in my password all the time. So let me move that off. So I don't think I have to do anything else there. You'll see the added UUID. I don't think I need to add the Keybase IO there. You can export the public key and update it in Keybase IO if you're using. So it's already over there. It's already got all the information. So I've already plugged in my Yubikey, and I didn't have this show up. If it's older or not in this combo mode, you may need to download the Yubikey Neo Manager and switch modes. I guess it's working. I don't know. Go to the command line and run this to confirm your Yubikey. You can see it as a smart card by the GPG command line. GPG card status. So let's try that. Right, so first off, I should be able to run GPG. Good. So if I say GPG card status, no, doesn't see it. Okay, so let's try installing this Neo Manager thing for this. The product is deprecated. Use Yubikey Manager to configure Yubikey. Don't mind if I do. Be nice if it told me to install this first. Features. Can configure FIDO pins, FIDO applications. Windows installers are here. Please, give me one of those. I'm Win64, so I'll take this one. Save that. Singing Mexican. Hello. Good morning. Lily Hazel. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome. If you understand, the hardware keys are just carriers of a secret, nothing more. So hardware breaking is so much of an issue you can generate a new one easily with the software. Oh, cool. So there's this. I've clicked you. You should be running now. Install the thing. Go. Sure. Yes. I want to see it. What exactly is a Yubikey? So this is a piece of hardware that you can use as part of two-factor authentication, multi-factor authentication, to get you signed into different apps, different services, and in my case, I'm going to use it to sign the commits, sign the software that we write here on stream. So, just looked in Cleopatra, and somehow you managed to show it up in there as a smart card. Yeah, it wasn't showing up as a smart card there in Cleopatra. Right? Tools, manage smart cards. Please insert a compatible smart card. F5. So this sees it. And it's all enabled, but this doesn't. So I'm wondering if I can't use this key this way. So I don't have to type in my password, not to GitHub, but to my GPG key. Does it already show up as a smart card and device manager? It should. Restart KeyPass. I'm not running KeyPass. Device Mangler. Identity device. I don't think that's it. Oh, there it is, Yubikey. Yep. So it's interesting. It sees it, but it didn't identify it as a Yubikey. Like, right? It doesn't say Yubikey. So you can buy the Yubikey, or is it just a USB memory stick? You should buy the. I don't know what else is on it, but I was gifted a Yubikey, so yes, I would go that way. And it's interesting, it doesn't see it as, yeah. And this doesn't, let me restart Cleopatra. Just it, nope, doesn't see it. So this is a Yubikey 5 NFC, right? And Yubikey 5 NFC should work. There it is. That's the same one that I've got. So yeah. This doesn't see it. All right. Continuing on then. I mean, does this see it? Nope, that doesn't see it either. Yeah, I feel like there is another driver that we're missing. Right? I mean, it clearly it sees itself here. You used to be able to get a free Yubikey with a Wired magazine subscription. I don't know if they even offer subscriptions to Wired anymore. You want to work on a .NET Core project, but you want to work on... Is there a service that provides VS Community that you can RDP into? You're thinking... The only SciCan, you might be thinking about Visual Studio Online, and that's not quite ready yet. Maybe run the app as an administrator. Oh, that could be. What if... That could be a thing. Run that as an admin. And see if I'm getting clobbered by... Right? See if I'm getting clobbered by permissions here. Nope, doesn't see it. No. No. So running the app as administrator doesn't find it either. So I just click the Manage Smart Cards button again and it... Yeah. Doesn't see it. Interesting. Because their docs all say this is how it works. Now I wonder if it's being seen for anything. right? Or is it the way that it's connected here through my USB hub? It doesn't see it, right? Is that a thing that's going on? But I mean, the hardware is being seen. Do I need the command line as well? Maybe. Where was it? Installers here. CLI. Okay. If you're looking for the full, which also includes the, okay, so it's also there. So can I do YKman? Does that do anything? Try restart. In case it's now on the command line. No, doesn't say it. Okay, so let's try and install this. Windows. These installed together with the GUI version of the Yubikey manager. I think you're lying. No, that brings me back over here. Well, there's the app. Nope, doesn't say it. That was my question, is did it put it on my path? But right, even if I do a not where is. Yeah, couldn't find it. So where did it put it? Tells me they got a bad installer here, you know what I'm saying? Let's see where it put it down at. So there's the shortcut. Properties. Let's go see what's in that folder. C program files Yubikey. Well, wait a sec. Open file location. Let's do that. Duh. Oh, look at all the Python. YKman, there it is. So that tells me it's not in the path. Oh, you make me sad. You're kidding, right? Thank you. I got a really long path, don't I? There's GPG. I don't see it in the path. No, it's not in the path. Well, wait a second. No, they didn't put it in the path. So there's our first problem. Let's add that to the path. Maybe that'll help it show up a little bit. I want to update my system path. I think it's over here, right? Path, edit. Yeah, it's not in the list. Right, so now restart another console. Now it found it. Okay. So let's see if I run YKman list, what's it tell me? Yeah, found it. All right. So Scott was saying to run GPG card status. Nope, doesn't find it. Cypher of Tier, thank you so much for the host. Hey, I'm doing great. Hope you had a good holiday if you celebrated Christmas yesterday. The music is giving you anxiety icons. Oh, I'm sorry. Nah, I shouldn't need to reboot. Nope. There's a mini driver. Let's see about this. Here, I'll tell you what, we'll change songs. We'll go to, this is Gold. Downloading the song now. Look at that, right there. There we go. Wasn't bad. Did a long stream to give friends with nowhere to go. A virtual hangout. Nice. Not really into Christmas. Oh, that's great. It's nice to be able to spend time with friends on any kind of social media, whether it's here on Twitch or Twitter, Facebook, all of those. IT administrators can set up their Windows domain to allow Yubikeys to be used as smart cards to log into Windows connected Windows systems. Use the Yubikey manager for Windows to create PIN unlock keys. That's right. Yubikey manager for Windows. Got that. The Yubikey Smart Card Mini Driver enables users and administrators to use native Windows user interface. Great. Where do I get that? I guess right there. How do I install that? Yubikey devices that use the Yubikey Smart Card, blah, 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 cannot use the Yubikey Manager for managing certificates or pins. All right, let's see what this does. No, I want to read the README. Okay. Let's not open that. Let's just download it. Okay. Sure. You're kidding, right? Come on now. And it's... Where the heck did it put it? No. There it is. They're for published official releases only, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So, how do I use this? I downloaded the mini driver. How do I install that? Do we go back to Device Manager and try and install it? You installed it, this driver, and it worked for you? Let's give it a shot. Right, that's my smart card reader that I have. Update driver. And go to downloads. No. So how do you install the driver? Right click install on the cab. I don't see install. Mad World Gales, hey, welcome. Yeah. Well, do I have to? I have to unblock it. I'm willing to bet. No, still don't have install. And if I open it, extracts it. What if I extract that to a folder? Sure. I have a temp folder. Right. So which one do I install? It doesn't tell me exactly which one to install. No, it's still, there's no install thing there. Alright. You weren't kidding when you said they need to make this a little bit easier to do. Oh, the INF. Yeah, there we go. Operation completed successfully. Did it? No, Cleopatra still doesn't see it. Nope. There, now it sees it as a Yubikey. Okay. So that's a start. Still, GPG still doesn't see it. And that still sees it. I'm doing well, Mad World Gales. We're trying to set up a little security device here called a Yubikey, and none of the apps that are supposed to find it and work with it work. This sees it, still sees it, which now I have dubious feelings about that it's actually going to work with anything that they claim it's going to work with, because nothing on my system sees it. Right, because that's okay. Let me close that. Let's just open a regular command line one. No. Okay. Is there some version of GPG that I'm missing that I should be using? Because at some point here, well, actually, wait a sec. Generate your GPG key directly on my Yubikey. GPG -- card edit. No, doesn't see the device. Yeah. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you joining us. Brave Cobra has a link there for GPG and SSH with Yubikey. Let's see what this has. So this is from September 2018. Okay. Install the latest GPG for Win. Yep. If you use Sigwin for SSH, I do not. A Yubikey with PGP, open PGP support. Got that. At least I thought I did. Make sure GPG is talking to your Yubikey. Okay. And this doesn't pop up here. One of the most painful parts of the entire process. Oh boy. It's caused issues for many other people. In general, you'll want to check the following. Does your system have any form of smart card reader, card slot, or contactless base? If so, I'll have a special configuration for you. I do, but okay. Have you installed any Yubikey drivers? I recommend you uninstall them, as I read numerous accounts that it seemed to interfere with OpenPGP. I'm going to park that thought and see what we can do here. First things first, let's try and see if the Yubikey shows up in Cleopatra right away. And, I mean, I'll try this again. No, it's not there. There's my PGP key. No. With your Yubikey plugged in, open Cleopatra, navigate to Tools, and select Manage Smart Cards. Yeah. And I don't. Even after hitting F5, if you have another smart card reader, or if you're not sure if that is the case, check the output of certinfo scinfo. All right, so let's try that. Is that what that is? I don't think it is. Or maybe it was. Okay. And so it looks like I have 2 smart card readers here. Well, look at that. Command failed. Key set does not exist on... Okay, so it looks like there's a little bit of confusion because I've got 2 keys here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is the default for the Yubikey. Well, I don't think it even got to the Yubikey. Right, it's not telling me what this one is. I think that's the one. Right, this is my Microsoft one. For my logins at work. Johan! Thank you so much for that.
Just resubscribed for 19 months. Tweak G3JPC3 ticks.
Okay. Welcome in. Yeah, I don't have a key set yet, so... okay, navigate to... in order to deal with this, GPG Connect agent has to be told that we want to explicitly use the Yubikey reader. Navigate to Settings, then Configure Cleopatra and go to the GNU PG system and... Oh boy, okay. So there's my Yubikey description. And what this is saying is go to the GNU PG system settings, then configure settings. Configure Cleopatra, all right. Go to the GNU PG system down here. Cool. And select the smart cards. I don't have it. Oh, smart cards. Okay. So take the exact description of my Yubikey and paste it into the Connect to Reader at port N here. So the description is this one. So I'm going to copy that, paste it there. Okay. You should wind up with something like this. Yep. All right. So apply. Okay. Now what? If I go back over here at F5. Hey, now we found it. Look at that. All right. Now we're on to something. Card holder not set. Okay, so this is something if it doesn't show up. It did for me. So now let me try that GPG card status and see if that works. Now it sees it. Look at that. Yeah, Luz Cannon, we are cooking with gas now. All right. Closer. We're getting closer. Okay, step 2, GPG keys. Okay. The GPG master key will be used to generate subkeys that will go on the Yubikey. I already have a GPG master key, which I use with Keybase. Yes, I have that. So I simply exported it to a standard PGP format, imported it to GPG. Dear Lord, that's confusing. I exported it to a standard format and imported to GPG with the following command. I've already got that. Okay. At this point, let me go back to Scott's directions. Because, right, I've already got... Right, now if I... Right, I did this. And I've got it showing up. Oh, and Scott actually goes through and talks about. Okay. From the command line, edit your keys, then add key. Since I'm using Keybase and starting with a 4096 key, one solution is to make a separate 2048 subkey for authentication. Oh. Yeah, how do you protect your master key? Encrypt it with a key. I know, isn't that weird? All right, let's see what we can do here. You'll make a 2048-bit signing key, and you'll want to decide if it ever expires, if it never does. Also make a revocation certificate so you can revoke it at a future point. Okay. So let's try that. GPG edit key, and Jeffrey T. Fritz at this one. Well, that didn't work. Yeah, I tried to tell you. Hey, TBD Gamer, welcome. Okay, so yeah. What was it? There was a way to list the keys. What was it? List secret keys. Right? -- list -- secret -- keys. Sure. Key ID -- format. Key ID is one word. Well, let's see what we get there. All right. So, yeah. This one. Yeah, why didn't that work? Right? Okay. So -- edit - key. What commands do we have? No. Well, that doesn't work. Yeah, I don't see edit key here anymore. Edit card. Okay. So edit key is no longer a thing. Edit key is there. Where? Quick, full, generate, quick, sign. Okay, edit key. Coding Garden. Welcome in, Coding Garden. How's it going there, friends? Good morning. Good to see you. My name is Jeff Fritz, and today, well, thank you, Coding Garden. Yeah, we've been having a pretty good stream so far. Today we're learning about a Yubikey device and how we can use that to sign our code using GPG keys and attach some verification information into our application. You think you've done this in the UI of Cleopatra. Very cool. Thank you. Welcome in, Raiders. It's so good to meet you. I appreciate you joining us. And what were you working on over there on the Coding Garden channel before you came over here? Let me know. You're just here to procrastinate. Oh, don't procrastinate. Hang out. We'll have a good time. So, can I... all right. He wants to add a key for signing. So how do we do this? Tools. No. View. No. New key pair? I don't want to add I don't want to add a user ID. So how do we do this? Creating subkeys. How do we do this? Thank you so much, Sonerganal. You need to grab a cup of coffee and start coding. There you go. Robert Tables, good morning. Good to see you, my friend. So this doesn't look like, right? I don't want to add a user ID. I want to add a key. What's this do? No, I don't want to add another user ID. But the edit key, right now, I want to edit. So we're trying to set up GPG so that I can edit keys here. So it tells me pass in the user ID. So if I tell it this, all right, it doesn't like me passing in the angle brackets. Fine. So Scott was suggesting we add a key for signing, and we select an RSA key. All right, we'll do that. 2048, sure, that sounds fine. How long should the key be valid? Never expire. That's correct. Yes, please, really create it. Now, what's my passphrase? This is the whole reason I got the Yubikey in the first place. Is so that I don't have to key in that passcode every time. There we go. So save my changes and then export the keys. Well, how do I save my changes? Okay, so there's the new key right here. Okay, how do I save? How do I save my changes and save? Okay. Thank you for the follow, Finnick. Welcome. Yes, my passphrase really is Taco Gains. Tensei, isn't that weird that it's the email without the angle brackets and he figured that out? Opti21, thank you for the follow. We're pushing towards our 10,000 follower goal here on Twitch. I spent a bit of earlier in the week editing videos on YouTube. It's weird editing videos on YouTube, but I'm trying to shrink down some of the content that's on there so that there isn't the 5-minute lead time before things start, and I've also got some music on there that YouTube flagged. But I'm going to be releasing a ton of videos on YouTube later today, tomorrow, as I finish trimming those up here a little bit. Okay, so I saved those. You can do that with Cleopatra or from the command line. So export the keys, and then we're going to move that over to the Yubikey. Well, what was the key ID? Right. Export secret. Well, okay. Export secret keys, and is that the key ID right there? I think. I don't know. Let's try that. GPG export secret keys with armor, and with that, does that work? Okay. I would have liked you to have saved that to disk. Do we have to do that again? My keys dot text. I guess. I don't know. Something like that. I mistyped. There it goes. There it is. Okay. Cool. You have your main 4096, some 2048 subkeys, blah blah blah. It will be the public version of the 2048-bit signing key that will tell GitHub about, and will put the private part on the Yubikey acting as the smart card. Okay. Nightshade Dude, hello. Is it weird this is the second time that I wrote it, but you didn't see it? No. A lot of messages go by, and we'll see that. My name is Infi. Welcome. Yeah, that's the key. Okay, good. So now I'm going to take my keychain here. Start by selecting 1. Note the asterisk after I type key 1. Then key to card to move stored on the Yubikey's smart card signature slot. I'm using my email as a way to get to my key, but if your email is used in multiple keys, you want to use the unique key IDs. Okay. Back up my keys. Yeah, I'll do that after. Right, that's what I use Keybase for, so it manages those for me. So GPG edit key, blah, blah, blah. And key to card. Okay. So let's try this again. So not that. GPG edit key. Right. And then it's this. Right. Okay. Key to card. Well, he says toggle key 1. Well, I think it's key 2, but they're right. Those are the same, right? Because it's ultimate trust, and these are all IDs on these. So yeah, okay. So I want that one. So is that toggle? Key 1? No, I want key 2. I don't know what that just did. Okay. Key to card. Yes, where to store the key. It's the signature key. Okay, now I do the passphrase again. Nope. Enter the admin PIN. I don't have an admin PIN. Did I scroll the entire private key? There we go. I'll get rid of that. Don't worry about it. Okay, so save. Okay. Okay, so now GPG. Okay, I've actually already got that. Oh wait, the signing key globally. Oh dear God. All right, GPG card edit. Okay. Admin. Oh, good. So now I can change my PIN. All right. Both admin and standard. I don't see. Well, okay, change PIN, change admin PIN. All right, so I'm going to step away from this so that nothing accidentally shows up on screen. What do I want to make that? Okay, change the admin PIN. That was easy. It didn't ask me to reset it 3 times. Okay. Hey, thanks so much, Astyonics. Thanks so much. All right, let me go back over here. So I think... So I just did all that. Quit. Okay. Save. Exit. Quit. Okay. But also where the GPG exe is. I've already got that. I've already got that configured. It already does that. If you don't want to set all commits to signed, you can skip. No, I've already got that. Test it. You can sign things. If you're running Cleopatra, you can run GPG card status. You'll notice the cert will turn boldface and get marked as certified. It is. I've already got that. On the smart card. Yes. I guess so. So how does it know? Certificate details. Yep, there they are. Fingerprint. Subkey details. This one. It says stored on this computer instead of stored on this key. What's a Yubikey? It's a little piece of hardware that'll help us with two-factor authentication, and it should allow us to just key in a PIN to automatically sign our source code instead of going through keying in really long, complex PGP passwords. Okay, so that's set up for signing. Has no... So... I'm not going to scroll the whole thing. Right? This one. I can't do anything with that. Okay. Making a text file and signing it. If you get a smart card prompt and a larger GPG file appears. Okay. So let's try something. You only need to input the PIN once in a Win login session. That's what I want to happen. Notepad test.text. This is a test. So now if I GPG sign test.text. There we go. So, no, I just changed the PIN. Great. I've already broken the key. Look at this. Martin Van Stam, thank you so much for the resub.
Martin just resubscribed for 9 months.
Okay. Thanks so much, Martin, and we'll make a donation to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. No, it's. Oh, is it using? No, it was the Yubikey one that was coming up. Please enter the PIN. So that's the default PIN. New PIN. Okay. Error changing the PIN. PIN blocked. New reset code. I don't know what this is. But it won't let me. No. I've unblock it. Let's try that. Admin PIN. Nope, bad PIN. Okay. No. Okay. So let me try that. Sign again. Test text GPG. Yep. Good. All right, so I can sign. Fantastic. All right. Next. If you don't want to set all commits, blah, 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 I can sign things. Go to GitHub. At the bottom, remember that's GPG keys, not SSH. Paste in your public signing key or subkey. So, am I pasting in the... which key am I pasting in? Should be the ID used when you set up user signing key. Well, I've already got that set up with the top level key. So it's suggesting I change my signing key. Oh, man. Okay. So, how do I get that list of keys? No. Right, and I want this one. How do I get just that one? Yeah, this is so easy to set up. Dear Lord. No, I don't want to set up my Yubikey with LastPass. I could, but I don't want to set that one up. I've already got that on two-factor authentication. I could do it, but I'll take my time getting that dialed in. I want to get... This is supposed to be so easy to do. Easy my foot. So how do I get... Right, how do I get that key exported? Right, so I get the key ID for it. I mean, I've got... I can export it from Cleopatra. You know, Cleopatra is... I'm finding to be worthless here for interacting with. Very confusing to do. So I don't... I don't want to... Well, what's publish on... No. Export. What happens when I... That's not going to give me the signing, right? I want the signing key, the ID of the signing key, which is this one, that ID. And it won't let me copy it. Wait a sec, what the hell did I just do there? Transfer to smart card. No. It's interesting it doesn't tell me that it's on the smart card. How do I know? I mean, I guess it is. There's nothing that confirms and tells me that. And did Scott have a user interface here that said that it was on? No. So... okay. I'm gonna tell Git. So git config user signing key. Right? Really? There we go. And the key over here is 9 Baker 03 Charlie 27 Charlie 5 Fox Dog 8 Fox 113. Okay. Now what? So how do I get that key exported and over to GitHub? Yeah, I'm not pushing to a second machine just yet. Okay, so let's go to GitHub and pull this down. Settings. This one. So there's my SSH keys. There's the current GPG key that I created. So So if I say new, and I would paste in, but it's the same. What am I pasting in there? It's go to GitHub, settings keys. Remember, it's make a new one and make a new, paste in your public signing key or sub key. Okay. So I'm going to go back over here and I was working in this location. Those shouldn't be there, should they? All right, let me, so that I don't show the entire text of my key on screen. Paste that in. No, that exported a private key. That didn't export a public key. Yeah, I'm okay there. How do we export the public signing key? Right, I want to export. Begin PGP public key block. Is it that? Is that what I'm pasting in here? Key already exists and public key already exists. So I guess So what happens now when I sign and push that? The level of, I mean, I understand, you know, this is security. It's meant to be a little bit hard. It's meant to be tricky. The amount of interaction here is not easy. Let's see. I'll choose Stream Tools. Jump back into PowerShell so I can see my Git markup here. That's not what I wanted. Let's see. Let's touch README. Test updates, and I'll just remove this later. Okay, so that didn't work. Okay, that didn't work. So I changed the signing key, right? And now it's telling me no secret key, and not able to find it. I have it already set up to GPG sign. So it was already doing this for me every time. No. No. I get the same thing. So this should already be set. And now it's telling me that I don't have the things configured. Boy. Why is it telling me there's no secret key? You need to remove it and plug it in once. Well, let's see what happens there. Nope, doesn't see it. Oh, is it list cards? No. Does GPG even see it again? Yep, sure sees it. And it sees the key info on it. Right? That. And Scott says user.signing key. Signing key. This. Doesn't see it. Do I have... Right? Oh, you stink. Yep, alright. So let's force that also. Hey, there we go. Got it. Alright. So now if I push that to GitHub. Okay, so it received it, it accepted it. Oh my gosh, we may have this, friends. So I'll go to Stream Tools, and I should see that as the latest commit. Test update unverified. So it doesn't have... It doesn't have that signing key. Yep, that's right. My password is Hunter2. Right, Scott jumps through. So it did sign. Make a new one and paste in your public signing key or subkey. How do we get the subkey? How do I get the subkey out of Cleopatra? Right, which I feel like is... Right, so all certificates, this one. I don't want to generate right, more details. Right, there's the subkey. And I can't double click and do anything to it. Export. And I've already sent this up and it said, oh, I've already got this. Do I remove the other one and re-add this one? Right, what if I did that? Here, delete, permanently delete the key, and if you use it again in the future, you'll need to upload it again. Any commits signed with this key will become unverified. Yeah. Not the SSH, wrong one.
Hey, listen.
Yes. Too late. Re-added. There it is. Subkeys. Now it has the subkey listed. It didn't have the subkey before, but that 9Baker03 that we configured here is now there. So if I go back now, now they're all verified, including that one that I just updated. Fantastic. Fantastic. So I'll remove that last So I went back a branch. Nailed it. Yep. Easy. And how do I prune off that last? Right, how do I remove? How do I undo the last commit? Stop it. Reset soft, reset hard. Head, that's the one I want. Git push force. Got rid of it. Good. All right. So now I can use the Yubikey to sign my commits. Fantastic. That was easy. Yeah.
Wait, Master. It might be dangerous.
It was quite dangerous. But now I can truly say...
I drink, and I know things.
I do. So, all right, let's get into this. Let's see if we can get back into our project. I know! All right, so we've got the Yubikey set up. It only took us an hour and a half to do. Yeah, thank you, Scott, for the direction there. It helped considerably. Oh man, I'm already messing up. Let's try this again. We were working here building Blazor components previously, and we like to do this on Thursdays, right? Today's Thursday? Yeah. We're working on Blazor components that take the place of web forms controls that people may have been using in the past on in their ASP.NET applications. So this is a big migration thing that folks are going through, and it's going to take time for folks to get through what this looks like. But here we go. This is BlazorWebFormsComponents, and I'll update the project command here. Building more web forms like controls. Let's put that together. Web forms like components for Blazor developers. There we go. So the idea is you want to be able to continue to use that list view that you may have been using inside of ASP.NET Web Forms. And it had syntax like this in your markup. And it'd be great if you could continue using that same markup in Blazor because you want to upgrade your applications. So that's what we're doing, is we're building slowly each one of these controls so that they have those features available when you get into Blazor. Make sense? So, and this has become an interesting little walk down memory lane as we go down and we take a look at all the different features and things that were available for folks for the longest time to build their web forms applications.
Do you really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
I do, Hans. I do. This is going to work out, and folks are going to be able to migrate their applications, Hans. It's going to be tremendous.
Alrighty then.
Good. I'm glad you agree. So, we started off. We've got a test project down here. Where'd it go? I just clicked. There it is. A test project that uses a test library that our friend Egil has been maintaining called the Razor Components Testing Library. And we've been slowly building out how we're going to interact with each of our Blazor components to make sure that these behave the same way as they did when they were web forms controls. We want to generate the same type of markup, whether you were web forms or you're in Blazor, so that you have that confirmation, you have that confidence, that's a good word, so that You can swap out your markup, just bring it into Blazor, move your C# around a little bit with some minor updates, and you'll feel like
Everything is awesome.
you'll feel like everything is amazing. It's awesome. So we built a repeater control, and right now we're only focusing on the read interactions. We're not doing anything with edit and update. And it just outputs and repeats whatever it is that you selected in the format that you wanted for the repeater control here. Now, I did open a couple of issues here that indicate things that we need to fix, things that we should go back and address. In particular, I want to just take a quick moment and fix the enabled and visible properties so they work on the repeater control. So let's do this. Let me jump into dev Blazor Web Forms Components. Here it is. Now I'm in a different branch. I've been building a branch for each feature here, and you can see the branches that I have in Git. Let me check out master. Go back over there, and let's create a fix branch. Enabled repeater, and we'll work in here to add the ability for the enabled and visible properties. Make them work properly for us. Here. Yes, of course. Something didn't reload properly. Project file could not be found. Yes, because it wasn't in this version. That's okay. And I have all of the code being built and being deployed automatically using Azure DevOps. And it's actually being labeled properly as well. So it has an appropriate version number that travels with it as it gets deployed. So this is the repeater control component, right? What it used to look like, right? How you would use it. If we went up here to the repeater control, here's how it was used inside of web forms, right? ASP repeater, and you have these templates that you could put in here to format how you'd want your markup to be repeated. But there's also the ability to put features on here, like enabled, right? Come here. Give me that type of head. Oh, wait a sec. Enabled isn't... Alright, enabled isn't there, but visible is. There you go. False and true. Interesting that enabled isn't in the list. Okay. So we'll add visible. So you have visible, false, and true. By default, I think visible should be true, right? So here's the component here, and it has some code that goes with it, a base model binding component that has the information about how this component will behave. Now, base model binding component is something we wrote that comes off of a base web forms component, right? And a base web forms component has some of the things that they should all have, like enabled and visible, but I'm not properly responding and handling if something is marked not visible, right? Or not enabled. So let's add a component test first and make sure that visible properly doesn't output anything. So this is a simple list that just outputs a simple list of widgets. This should recompile and find everything, and those red lines should go away in a second, right? I'm going to set this up, and I will call this visible.razor. And what we're going to do is just mark this visible equals false, right? And the count should be 0. We shouldn't have any items output when this thing actually renders. You know what I'm saying? So let's go over to my test explorer, and I can run all the tests. I should be able to see that it's testing and verifying that everything works. Have a good one, Brave Cobra. Thanks for tuning in. Now, Ejel had some feedback for me on Twitter about how I should do some of these to make sure that these are behaving properly. So that simple list for, well, you've built something that doesn't exist here, friend. The test explorer is testing against something that doesn't exist. Right? What? What are you doing? Unable to find... Oh, I moved some of these files around on disk. Let's clean the solution. And yes. See, simple list copy doesn't exist. Do I need to reopen my solution here because I moved files around and it doesn't remember where things are? Maybe. Let's do that. Lennon. Give me 1 second here. Let me see what happens when we build everything. Lennon BR asks, been looking into WASM, WebAssembly, for the last few weeks. In the .NET space, you can do C# to WASM using Blazor, but you cannot do C# to WASM with a simple command line tool or library as far as I have seen. No, they haven't made that available. Why is it command line tool? Or to build like a command line application that runs with over WebAssembly. The folks behind the Uno project have built some stuff so that you can build independently of Blazor. They might have some details about how to build that. Okay, so this is telling me shared sample objects cannot be found. So I moved some of these projects. Yeah, look. Remove this. Add existing project. Yeah, I moved some of these folders around. cdev. Here we go. Right. Source. No. Samples. There it is. Ta-da. Let me remove these two and re-add them. Yes. Add existing projects. This one. Add an existing project. After Blazor server side. There we go. Now let's see if it builds. Okay, so the references, particularly in the test project, it doesn't have the reference wired up properly, but before web forms, all right, so let's, where's it managed? Add, reference. Yep, there it is. Let's do the same thing with these. Add, reference. Yep, that's already got that one. Is that the right location? Where is it? Add, reference. Yep. Okay, so the test project also was not wired up properly. Add, reference. This one. Oh, wait a sec. It only had the one in there. Yeah. But it doesn't have that. Not the test. The actual components. Reference. This one. Alright, now let's see if everything builds. Yeah, the inside of the cap I have, it is green. So it does look kind of weird there. Unable to find project. Samples Blazor Web Forms components for after Blazor. Okay, why can't you find... Oh. These references are wrong. That's okay. So there's an older reference there. See, it's got two of them. This is in, I'm already inside of there. That should have cleaned it up. Interesting that when I was in the references dialog, it didn't didn't show me the invalid project references, but it didn't remove them when I changed it. After Blazor server side, this one, samples Blazor Web Forms Components. Blazor Web Forms Components CS Proj. That's this one. I already saved that. That one should have found the right place. I mean, look at how far it's building. Sure looks like it found it. Yep, found it that time. Good. So let's see, if I go over to my test explorer, there we go. Now I'm getting an error here. Where is it? It's on the visible. There we go. So this is the test that I wrote just a few minutes ago. And it's telling me that it found spans. It did. So my test is properly failing because where it expects to find nothing output, because I said visible false, it's finding stuff. So let me go over to the repeater. So if there are any items, we output information, include the header and footer templates. But if visible equals false, we shouldn't output anything. Thank you for the follow, Khan's Planet. Welcome. So what I'll do here is I'll just wrap everything with a big ol' if statement that says if visible, right? Go all the way down to the end. Put a curly brace and bump everything over, and I'll run my test again. Run the failed test, so it runs just this one. Should clear up. What? No. Why don't you like that? What should we do here? How should we replace this? I mean, if I do it like that, I mean, that's kind of a thing, right? No. Oh, is it this one? Can we do that? Succeeded. Alright, go ahead and run that test then. Tell me that works. I think we got this. There we go. Good. So all my tests ran successful. I'll run them all one more time. And I can even add the not enabled there, even though that's not supported. If that's not a feature of ASP.NET, we can turn that back on here. So it does the same thing, yeah. If visible, and enabled. Right? And enabled defaults to true, visible defaults to true as well. So this should, by default, just work. Right? Run the test one more time. Now that I added the enable, we'll increase the version number on this, and we'll push it out as an update. Come on. There we go. Good. The version number is over here. So we'll make this not... we'll make this 021. Preview. Right, so how did we do the NerdBank Git versioning? Right, NerdBank... Right, it was NBGV, wasn't that it? The name of the command? So updates the version stamp that is applied to a project, and I just did that by hand. Creates a git tag to mark a version. So my current versions that I have out there are 010. So I think I want to make this 011 actually. Stream mood is low. Oh no! And adjusting the version of the. So I think. Well, what versions do I have out there? Let's start there, right? If I go. Wait a sec. NuGet. Blazor Web Forms Components. And search for that. Jump right to this project. There it is. 020 preview. So let's bump this to 0. And we should have a tag for that. We don't. TBD Gamer. Oh my goodness.
Game just gifted 10 subs.
Thank you, TBD Gamer. Oh my goodness. And Glenn Condren.
Just resubscribed for 11 months. Hey, hey.
Hey, hey, indeed. Welcome in, Glenn. And there's another one coming up here. Oh my gosh, a bunch of subs.
Webface_CEA just resubscribed for 4 months. Happy Boxing Day.
Happy Boxing Day indeed. Well, that'll bump up the mood, certainly. Thank you so much for all those subs. TBD Gamer, thank you for the those 10 gift subs. That's interesting. It gifted a... Oh, no. Yeah, okay. 10 gift subs. There's a bunch of donations we're going to make to St. Jude here. Sunny Hanuel, Swilt 2, The Badass Pony, nice. Usurper.
Hucking Fackers just resubscribed for 3 months.
Thank you so much for that one. I'm not sure how to pronounce that one. Whiteland 92, Dylan 86511, Gregarious, Tobo Nautilus, BSX 303. Congratulations, you all just got gift subs. Glenn and Webface CA and Hucking Fackers, thank you so much for your support. Yeah, we're moving faster and faster to gosh, I wanted to hit 3,000 in donations for St. Jude this quarter, and we were about 600 away before the stream started. I'll have to take a look. My gosh, we've had more than 120, 130 subscriptions today. Gosh, if we keep this up, we might even unlock another emote. We're about just under 40 subs. 37 subs from another emote, and that's, please, you don't need to but if we get 37 more subscriptions here before the end of the month, we'll unlock another emote, and that'll probably also push us over the top for hitting that subscription goal for St. Jude. Let me tag this as a 021 preview and push that out. Oh yeah, I think we can do it too. Any security opinions on using multi-factor applications on the same laptop you use to log on to the service? No. I don't Fuel Snable, I don't understand the question. Come on, featured chat. I haven't used you yet today. Come here. There we go. I'm not quite sure what you're looking for, Fuel Snable. Security opinions on using multi-factor applications on the same laptop you use to log. I'm not quite sure what you're looking for there. Let's see here. So, all the channel points redemptions are enabled as well today. Make sure that everybody knows that, because nobody's redeemed anything yet. So, we will we'll honor any redemptions. There are multi-factor authenticator apps for the laptop, so you log on to the service and then you generate a response on the same laptop. I think you need an external. I would recommend an external piece of hardware for that. Whether it's your phone, something like a Yubikey, some other physical thing to do that authentication, to create that second factor. This machine has the smart card in it, right? You saw that pop up when I was trying to configure my signing here. I would want that extra factor. Yeah, that is 2 factors, the laptop and the password. But I like having that extra piece, even for us at Microsoft, to get the certificate that's on this piece of hardware signed and turned on and as a valid smart card on our accounts. We have to use our employee ID that is itself a smart card to activate the smart card on this. So it's a chain of responsibility thing that happens. Yeah, I guess that works also. Well, the phone is it's a physical thing. It's tied to this piece of hardware that I know I carry. What I struggle with about a laptop or a desktop having that smart card and saying, oh yeah, we've identified that is that piece of hardware. What happens if somebody else sits down at it? They're now using your second piece of authentication. So, all right, so let's try this. Let's see if we can. So what happens if I do NBG? Get in the right window here, Jeff. Right over here, NBGV, and if I want to do tag, what all does that say? The path to the project or project. I'm already here. If not specified, head is used. Okay, so it knows my current version, right? NBGV, right? Get version, right? The current version it's going to report 0202 02 across. Right, but I just set this to 021, right? Why isn't it showing me the 021? What happens if I do set version? What's that tell me? The version to set. Okay, so if I say 021, yeah, it took off all my preview stuff that I had there. I want, I think, yeah, I don't want to use the set version because it drops off the preview here. So I guess I tag it? Well, if I tag it, it wants me to tag with a version number. Did I save this? Yeah, I did. Okay, so NBGV tag 02, I guess set version to 02. Well, prepare release, creating a release branch from the current version, adjusting the version of the current branch. So I guess I should commit first, right? Yeah. And what's the, no. Fixed, added, enabled, and visible properties to repeater. And that is issue 9 for this. Okay. It didn't ask me to sign that, but it did sign it, right? I guess it's signed. It doesn't. I don't see. But it should be using that key. Okay. So what? Visible dot. Oh, my new. Oh shoot. Add that. Amend that. Oh, I spelled amend wrong. Cool. All right. So NBGV. Right. Set. Well, prepare release. Is that it? But I want to push this up, do the merge. See, now I'm confused. push that. I already updated the version on this by hand. It only asks me for the pin once a session. Ah, good. Good. Okay. So I push that up. This should pop up and show that it was referenced by that commit. There it is. So let me create the pull request. Right, I'm going to go from that fix. Able to merge. It's still verifying this. Right, so Azure DevOps is going to build and make sure the test works. There it goes. And this is a small project, so it should build and tell me very quickly that the test passed. Right, here we go. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Restore should be very quick here. What are you doing? Come on.
You can do it!
Kittens makes fun of how long it takes me to find the right button to push there. And it should pick up the new version number here as well. Come on. Yeah, look. It didn't even update it, just... whatever. Running tests. It doesn't refresh quite as nicely over here. Yep, there it is. It's got the right version number on it, 021 preview. Good. Success, all the tests passed. So I can go back over here, and I know that it works, and it's got my verified tag on it. Good. Create the pull request. Do it. And there's only one commit, right? Yep. So merge it. There it is. And I don't know why it's testing again. Hey, Art for the Apocalypse, good morning. So it's gonna build again. Whatever. That's weird. But it should also then trigger a release and send it over to NuGet as 021 preview. And I could mark that as a release version. And it'll give it a 021 version out there. I don't necessarily want to give it a release on that, but let me go back to the master branch. I should be able to pull and have it delete the fix enabled repeater, right? Deleted, none. So it should have, right? It should have deleted that, right? No, it didn't delete it. Okay. Let me jump down into the branch we were working in. The feature over here. And I'll merge in the changes from master. And I've got conflicts. Always conflicts. Always conflicts. Separate triggers for PR and merge. Well, I think it's also building because it's the this one. No source control providers registered. Yeah, wake up, Air VS Code. I'm not done loading all my extensions. Look at it. Still got the circle of patience spinning there. Spinning. There it goes. Start with version JSON. Yes, I went to 021, so I want the incoming change. Come on. What are you doing? What are you doing? Come on. There it goes. Good. Set that up for the commit. The CS proj file. Oh dear Lord. There it is. Which one is... Not now. Go away. Shoot. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I don't know which one it is. Shared sample objects, CS proj. Has a GUID. I'm going to trust that the master of the incoming is correct here as well. And the solution file. Yep, these... I'm going to trust the incoming on this as well. Oh, dear God. Because, right, I have no idea what those mean. And before I commit... Now, where did the other files go? I modified them. And I clicked the plus and it didn't... Where'd they go? Both modified the solution file. Right, I just... Oh, I didn't click the plus on that one. There we go. Okay. And this should still open. And be able to build. Circle of Patience, what a charitable name for it. Yes, that's right, Art for the Apocalypse. It's better than the beach ball, right? Over on Mac OS, they've got the spinning beach ball. That makes it sound so happy, playful. You're on the beach and it's spinning. No, you're not. You're waiting impatiently for that thing to go away. What a pain in the neck. Go, shoot. I want to write software. All right, good. So that built properly. I should be able to just commit. Cool. Right? And I can push that. And now I've got my merge changes available for this branch. Okay, good. Good. So we were working on bouncing now over to the DataList component, which was a little bit different. Has some interesting features for the DataList. Let me actually start that project so we can take a look at what this is. You missed the walking yellow and blue dinosaur. Walking yellow and blue dinosaur. I don't remember that. So this is web forms, and we're going to jump and see exactly what the DataList control looks like. So I've got this start off page here that lists all the controls that we're going to work on. We'll load up some of these other ones over here as we get to them. But I figured these would be some easy ones for us to start with. I'll jump down into the DataList control here. And when we... I don't want to look at that. I want to actually look at the code that it output. So for the DataList itself, here it is. It actually output a table. And it copied over, right, some things here. It even put a style on there, border collapse. If we look at the code that was used to generate the data list, control samples, data list, default. So we've specified that it's enabled. It has a repeat layout of type table with 3 columns going across. So we get 3 columns going across, and it gives us, right, a TR with 3 columns going across. Now, if there were more items than there were columns, so if we turn this to 2, it repeats and puts that on a second row here. So it's figured out how many items there are, how many columns there are, and it's wrapping them appropriately. NT4. Oh gosh. Yeah. Lose Kennan. This programming music is too sexy. Well, let's let our friend Carl know. Carl Franklin, who authored the music to Code By. Right there's a link in chat so you can get your copy of it. You can learn more about it. Yeah, we should let him know. Let's see here. If we want to do this with the table, this would be cool to build, right? So first off, setting the repeat layout to table, and there were a couple different repeat layouts that we could punch in here, but the only ones that worked, I thought, were flow and table. The other ones didn't do anything. So let's get into this repeat layout and then the repeat columns and see how that behaves. See what we can do to make it better. Allow it to do all these things and improve our control. So we have a data list test here that right now takes in that same simple widget list, and it outputs 3 items with a header that says my widget list and an item name. And if you don't specify a layout, what's the layout that it gives you? Right? Is the default layout that table? Well, let's thanks. Tell you what, I'm going to set you as the startup project. So I'm always starting into the web forms one for right now. And we can take a look at what it outputs by default. And then update our code so that it behaves and acts appropriately. So, what do you think, chat room? Is this a worthwhile project? Is this something that you think would help you get into Blazor if you have web forms applications? Let me know. Well, and then your application will just work with web forms. Well, with Blazor. Hopefully. I can get rid of this one. That's kind of like the catalog page. So if I remove repeat layout, right, and refresh, is it still giving me... No, I didn't want to be on that screen. There we go. Yeah. Is it still giving me... It does give you a table by default. So the default configuration there is a table. So let's go back over here. So I'll go down to the actual, it's not the repeater, right? The actual component is right here. So it is by default giving you a table. All right, so that was repeat layout. So we need to add that feature so that it's a property here, so we know how to change that layout. Well, I have a component that goes next to it. So let's add a parameter that you can key in. And it's a repeat layout. We're going to need an enumerable type for that so that we can inspect it. And this is a parameter. You put a parameter attribute on these so they become parameters that you can set on the control, on the component in Blazor so that it lights up. Bouncing back and forth between component and control. I got to make sure I get that nomenclature right when I describe that to folks. So the repeat layout, if I go back over to here, right, that when I say repeat layout equals this enumerable type, what is that? If I go into the code behind this web form, and I say simple data list, that's the name of what we put there, right? The name of the control that we placed. Repeat direction, vertically or horizontally. We're going to need to figure that one out. But that's a type of repeat direction. Repeat layout is of type repeat layout. So the only guarantee that I want to give folks to start here is that your markup works. Right? If you're using the straight markup, it just works. It goes along with it. So if I take repeat layout, and if I make that an enumerable in here, public rats. Come on, Jeff. There we go. Public enum, and we'll figure out if we need to move this later, right? And I don't have those other types that you actually can use here. What was interesting was repeat layout doesn't exist in the repeater control. Wasn't that interesting? If I go back over here, right? If we look at the repeater control, there is no repeat layout. Look at that. Things that make you go, The repeat control doesn't have a repeat layout. Okay. That's totally a thing. Right? So repeat layout had table and flow. Those are the two that we can only use, are the only two we can use here. So I'm okay with those being a thing, right? With those being kind of the default here, the only ones that you get. We can open those up and do more later. They should actually have the same value. Let's leave them the way it is. I know it's not strictly binary compatible, but I want to make sure that the text for your markup matches. That's the goal. Make sure the text works. Okay. So if we say this equals repeat layout table, we've got a sensible default here. And I feel like there should be some help that goes along with this. It seems that web forms was bettered. Yeah, you're not wrong there, Stelzy. Bettered by many different developers for a long time, certainly. Web forms over the past 18, 19 years had many different developers, many different program managers that worked on it, including myself. So things changed, things went in different directions. You're going to see and feel different coding feels in how features in here work and evolved over that long time that it was out there. How you doing, Crows? What should it want a paradise? That's an interesting question. Let's put that up. Hey, Shmuley. One of Paradise asks, what should a junior developer know to find their first job? It's a good question. A junior developer looking for their first job should have some foundation in a programming language. It might not be C++, C# or Java. Maybe it's Python or dare I say, JavaScript. Horses love JavaScript on this channel. It's just a thing. But I think have some foundation in a programming language. Have some concept around algorithms. Not all of them. All of the algorithms that folks say you need to know in comp science. But have some foundation. Write some software, have some code published out to your own your own GitHub organization, your own GitHub repository that folks can see and take a look at. Will show that you have you've got some capabilities. Just going through a free code camp or a boot camp is going to get you somewhere. But having a little bit of proof, some accreditation that shows that, yes, I built something, I wrote this, is going to help get you in the door to that first job. So, good, yes. Fuel Snable, that's a very good point there. Make sure you know something about good practices like source control. Source control particularly is very good to know. And Git. Right? Most folks, Git has become overwhelmingly the source control of choice, but there are places that still prefer perforce. Even some Visual Source Safe is still out there. CVS folks use in various places. But knowing Git, knowing Mercurial, some source control, and what it means to use source control in that practice is going to help you a lot. Algorithms is not of utmost importance, but knowing a little bit of coding strategies and how to take advantage of some design patterns will certainly help you. But Robert Tables is 100% right. Why didn't that click through? No, not that one. ClearCase, yes, people are using ClearCase. Oh my goodness. Yeah, don't learn just theory. But version control is table stakes. You need to know some version control and be willing to learn. Folks in this industry are always learning, constantly learning. You're either learning new techniques, you're learning new programming languages, you're learning new programming models, you're learning new tools. The only constant in software is change. Nothing will stay the same. Make sure that you are constantly learning. So, theory helps if you're doing computer science research, if you're doing some type of higher level design or not higher level design. You're building something, a product that many other folks are going to be relying on, and you need to know how to tune for performance to a level that folks just aren't used to, and a very low level tuning. And I'm specifically thinking about the folks at Microsoft that build the .NET framework in programming languages. Those folks, the folks that build the C# programming languages, they've got PhDs. They know computer science inside and out, and the engineers that are working for them are some of the best of the best of the best. Why? Because if your programming language is suboptimal, everything else is a house of cards that just doesn't work that well. So literally, some of the smartest people are building the C# programming language. They're building the C++ programming language and compiler, and same thing with Visual Basic and F#. There are some freaking smart people working on those things. Do you need to be that smart to build the shopping cart application for your company? No. And to be frank, some of the folks that do build the frameworks and programming languages, it would take them a little bit of time to get started building one of those types of applications, because that's not what they do. That's not what their daily thing is. They're thinking at a high level about memory management, processor utilization when they build compilers and programming languages. So there's different folks that build different things, and they optimize how they approach their tools different ways for their goals, for what they're trying to do. So, right, the folks that work on ASP.NET and web programming know all kinds of stuff about building for the web and optimizing for the web, but they don't actually know how to or build really cool websites, because that's not what they do. They build the stuff that lets you build those really cool websites. Okay. Two different things. It's interesting like that, isn't it? Most of us get away with code that is actually horribly slow, says Fuel Snable. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. Do you know how someone could join the ASP.NET team? Asks Kabazi. If you're looking to join as an engineer, there are applications that are available on the careers.microsoft.com website. And you can go through that process, and they'll bring you in and get you through the testing to join as an engineer. Microsoft.com careers. Thank you, Shmuley. Yep. What is my opinion on functional or object-oriented programming code? Asks, is that Gold Pravan? Let me put up that question so that folks can see this. Object-oriented programming, the way that you program with C#, with Java, a bit with Visual Basic.NET now, was very in style, was very in vogue for the early 2000s. and for the better part of the 2010s here. Functional programming, a lot of folks have glommed onto Clojure, F#, a lot of great functional programming languages out there. And they've each got their pluses and minuses. It doesn't matter which type of language you choose as long as you can ship. Shipping is the number one feature of a programming language. If you can't ship good applications, I don't care what language you're writing. Conversely, your customer, if you delivered a good application to them, they don't care what language you wrote in either. You could be writing in Visual Basic. You could be writing in JavaScript or TypeScript or PHP. They don't care. They got a running application. Do you honestly look at the applications that run on your system and judge them based on what language they were written in? No. What matters is they work for you. So you're going to look at iTunes, and a lot of folks look at iTunes and say, oh my gosh, I really don't like this application. Well, is that application that way because of the programming language that it was written in? Or because of how the program managers and the product managers that decide how that was going to be structured to deliver features, their final decisions? Yeah, it doesn't matter. You could use Assembler, sure. Or Silverlight, absolutely. So use what Robert Tables is suggesting. Choose what just gets the code shipped. There's lots of programming languages to work on there. Tabs and spaces. You want to argue over tabs and spaces? Be my guest. But you know what? The compiler... Well, hang on. Tabs and spaces for many programming languages is only an artifact for us, for humans. For some programming languages, they do care of tabs versus spaces. They do. And they would be wrong. No. If that's something that's important to you, great. Does that make it a better product? No. So. Yep, programming languages. That's a very good comparison there. iPod K. Programming languages are similar to hammers and chainsaws. Different tools for different tasks. If you're carving a log into, you want to make an intricate sculpture, you can do that with a chainsaw. And people do amazing sculptures on logs with chainsaws. They look really cool. It takes a tremendous amount of skill to do that. But you may want to use something else. You may want to use a knife or some other blade that allow you to get nice smooth edges, and you might want to polish it off with sandpaper and appropriate varnish and these things so it looks nice. You're going to get two different things, whether you carved with a chainsaw or you carved with a blade and used some fine tools that were smaller for more intricate detail. But depends on what you were asked to deliver. So take your pick. All right. Thank you for the follow. We had a new follower pop in there. Sunny Hanwell, welcome. Appreciate you joining us here on this Boxing Day, December 26th. The best language to use is the language your team is already using to ship. Well, if you're jumping into a team, you better be programming with the same language they are. Let me get back into this. We were talking about repeat layouts for tables. So we're outputting HTML here, and by default, we're going to output table markup for our data list. So this layout as a table makes sense. And we're going to need to get into the columns here, right? We're not doing anything with the columns. This isn't going to work properly when we're thinking about columns. When we get into that information. So when we aren't using tables, Robert's tables, we're using flow layout, we're going to have a different set of markup. We're going to need to format that appropriately. Poselsky, that's an interesting point and kind of the irony of this. It's funny when a company asks what programming languages you know, when at the end of the day, everything is so similar that it doesn't matter. I mean, right, if an employer were to come to me and say, hey, we'd like to hire you to work at a job, but everything is Java. Well, I'm a C# developer. I mean, you're literally coming to a guy named C# Fritz, and you want to ask me to program Java. It's similar. I can learn it. But I'm still going to be C# Fritz, even though I'm programming Java. And C# is still my preferred programming language. But I'm programming in Java, or it might be Python, or choose your language. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. You should be able to learn other programming languages once you know the first one, right? It shouldn't be as hard, and it's not. I've learned enough Java to build a couple Android applications, and that's okay. So, let's take a look at what happens now with that data list when we change the repeat layout to a flow. So I'm going to actually create another page here that does a flow repeat layout and see what that does. So I'm going to copy this, paste it, and instead of calling this default copy, no, I didn't want to F1. I will F2 on this to rename, and I will change this to, I'll call this flow layout ASPX. And I will call this data list, right? This is on my flow layout. Flow layout sample. And yep, I'll now include these other usage samples. And I'll have this go back to default. Simple layout sample. Here's a simple data list bound to a collection of widgets in flow repeat layout. Let's say with repeat layout set to flow. Okay. And I'll change this like that. And the rest of the code is the same. But I want to create a link now to come back over to here. So when folks are browsing and reading my documentation, see, we're building documentation as we go here. We'll call this flow layout ASPX. So we can go there. All right. Let's see here. All right. Good. Okay. Let's add here by default the layout, the repeat layout is a table. Okay. I'll leave that repeat columns there. Thank you for thank you for the follow. You are source code. Hello, welcome. Polsky says, when you look at Haskell and F#, there are many similar things that will decrease your learning time. Yeah, you got a good point there. All right, so those now. So I can now look at what this flow layout looks like. And let's see what this formatting is with the exact same markup and see what it comes out with. Default has already been... my code behind up here needs to, yep, flow layout ASPX. Yeah, we need to change this to flow layout. We're good there. Okay. Let's see here. What's going on here? We're good. All right, let's do this. And I think I'm going to wrap up here in just a little bit. Now that I've changed that, no, what don't you like? Before Web Forms already has simple data list. I'm not. Does this have? It does. Flow. No. That's That's what that should... This should be generated properly here. Title, code behind... Oh, wait. Flow layout. It's referencing the wrong page. That should work now. Now, let's get that working. Yep, C# 9 is coming soon with record types as well. Yes. All right, so now let's try this and see what it looks like. So this should jump right to that flow layout page because that's where I told it to start at. Yeah, the evils of copy pasting. You're not wrong. Oh, you're not wrong. All right, let's Control U so we can look at the source code. Okay, so there it is. So we end up with a span that contains a span for the header. Look at that. And then we have breaks for each one of these. Let's copy this out so we can look at this a little bit bigger. Okay. Do a little indenting here so this is a little bit easier to read. Right? So if we're going to repeat the way this behaves, right? Oh, look at that. So, no, we don't want to save that. Okay. All right, so we have a span with the ID on it. There's our header, and right, the header then has a break. The first two. And then look at how the third is kind of... Okay. This is interesting. Now, Shmuley, I was copy and pasting so I could have the exact same layout for another page. Okay, so the header, BR, and then it went first, and then the third, because it said there were two columns. So it actually went 1, 2 vertically, 3 on the next column. So what happens if I don't specify any columns here, right? If we get rid of this and refresh this, and we look, now it's 1, 2, 3 with breaks in between them. Let's start there. And develop out from that. So let's get rid of this. I don't want that anymore. I don't need the default. Okay. Right. So I'm going to put a switch here on right, the repeat layout. That's kind of weird. I'm putting a switch in the middle of markup. But hey, it's my code. So when the repeat layout is table, right, we'll output this format. And then we need a break. Repeat layout flow, right? And we'll have a break at the end of that. Now, why doesn't it like this? Control cannot fall out of switch from final case layout. What? Oh. No, that if, right, goes with this one. Oh, you know what? I'm not doing the if enabled yet either. The flow direction does seem to be vertically by default. It does. Now, what doesn't that like? Okay. I think we're all right there. So I think I'm going to end up needing very much the same. Let's start with the same markup. Oh, I forgot the table at the top. That's okay. So it'll start with a span. And instead of ending with a table, it'll end with a span. So if there's a header template, right, we'll have a span. And it has a line break after that. And for each item in the list, for right now, until we get into the columns. Yes, we're talking about Robert Tables. No, we're not talking about you. Sika Player, hello. Sika Player and Robert Tables, they're members of the Live Coders team. Good to see you, my friends. Egil, hello. Internal subcomponents for each state. That's not a bad idea. So that instead of having a switch case with all the various things here, pass into an internal component that does those things appropriately. That's not a bad idea. And then I can do... Oh, I end. I can inherit from a base that has, here's how these behave and act appropriately. Yes, this is Blazor. Yes. It will make it easier to maintain, however, there's only 2 of these. If there were multiple ones, if I was going to be adding more later. But for right now, I might be okay just like this. I might be. We also need to be able to handle the enabled state. Now, Egil Hansen's here. Yeah, single responsibility would be nice, but there's also a little bit of over optimizing that I don't necessarily want to get wrapped up in. Let's do this. I'm trying to find. Egil had a great comment to me about an assert helper for when I write the test, and I'm about to write another test over here for this to look at the spans when we're in flow mode. Right, so for DataList, right now I do this, find all the TDs and make sure that the count is this. Thank you for the follow, Daywalker X1. So Egil was suggesting should contain exactly assert helpers so that we could say, there should be 3 TDs inside of this collection. Where right now we're saying find all, length should be, right? Or count should be. And that's not too bad. That would be handy to be able to do that and be able to say, yes, it generated the appropriate number of components. That would be good. Is that Sido? Welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. Sorry, we only speak English here in this chat room. I welcome you, but we want to make sure everybody can talk to each other, so we encourage English in the chat room. This is a neat idea to make that a little bit easier to use. So if I'm going to do a flow layout test that's going to be very similar, I'm going to start with the same concept here. So let's call this simple flow layout because I'm not going to get into columns yet. Thank you for the follow, Madaski. Welcome. Appreciate you joining us, helping us reach our 10,000 follower goal here. I really appreciate the follows. So methods, Shmuley asks methods for each instead of components. No, I think we can, I think Egil might be correct there. Let's pull those out as separate files so that we can maintain them independently of each other, right? If I look at here, right? We've gone past having 6 or 7 lines of code here. Now we've got the same thing repeated twice. We could pull this out as 2 separate files so that when we're working on the flow layout, we're not touching the same code that the table layout is on. It's not too bad an idea. I can definitely see us running with that. So for this, to test and make sure that this works properly, my repeat layout is, come on, you can see the repeat layout. I should be able to say flow there and have it pick up. No. Why don't you see that? Data list, right? Repeat layout. That's a thing. It should see that. So we're going to end up with, we should say that there are 4 spans, and the first span should have my widget list in there. And we should see that. So first off, let's make sure it builds. Oh boy. Mrs. C Sharp Fritz is out trying her Christmas presents out today. She's learning how to tow with her new car. Flow does not exist in the current context. Why don't you know what flow is? Let me go back over here to my data list. I moved that repeat layout out, so it should be with my components here. It should be picking up inside of that same namespace. Am I missing? You know what? Let me add a using statement for it. And right, that should pick up and give me this. Right? I would think. Let's see. What could go wrong? Sika Player asks, when do I get back to Florida again? I will be in Florida for the Dev Intersection Conference, April 7 to 9. Actually, we're going to do we've got something special planned for, I believe it's going to be the Sunday before the conference. We're looking at doing a, not a hackathon, but a codeathon live from the event. We're going to invite anybody that wants to join us to come out and help out. Robert Tables, after your truck driving career, you were nominated as the backing up the trailer guy for your family. Nice. Sika Player, that conference is at the Walt Disney World Swan Hotel. Why doesn't it? Well, first off, it's not seeing the files properly here. Let me rebuild, because it still sees the other name when I did this simple layout, simple list rebuild. See, it still sees simple list copy. This file doesn't exist. Why doesn't it see this? Right? Repeat layout dot. That's not what I expected to happen. Ooh, updated docs in the wiki for the testing. Nice. A semantic HTML diff approach. Oh, cool, Egil. Thank you for sharing. I'll definitely take a look at that. That's very kind of you to share. There we go. Semantic HTML markup comparison. And this is something that I wanted to be able to do so I could say, well, here's kind of the HTML that I want it to look like, right? Ignore white space nodes and so that's very cool. I'm gonna have to look further into this. That's awesome. I don't like that I have to specify like that. I want to be able to have this just like I do right? And here's me trying to make our markup look like the web forms. Absolutely, Egil, I will be happy to share some feedback with you. I want to have this look the same, so you can copy that repeat layout in over here, so that I get the word. I can use the word flow, but when I'm over here, right, I get a series of these things that pop up. So I don't think I can use a straight enum for that, right? I'm going to need to get a little bit trickier. What can we do? How can we make this a little bit easier, so that we have a type that's repeat layout that we're going to drop in there, and it feels like an enumerable, but it doesn't require that prefix, right? I mean, I could make this string, right? And right, it could be that. Blazor Web Forms Components, right? I could do that, and that works. It doesn't need to be in its own file, no. What I think I'm running into, right? That where the enum is located, it's outside of the class. At this point, it can be wherever we'd like. How do we want to do this? I could make it a string and kind of enforce that it has to be one of those values. I could do that. I could do... Right, so let's make sure that... So let's put this here. I want that to affect that when I do this. And with it now as a string, actually that'll build and run properly. What? Right, now it's, yeah. Now it becomes this. Sealed class with static properties and a private constructor. That's not a bad idea, Shmuley, but then I still need to reference the class. Right? To get it to... here. No, wrong one. Here. Right, if I turn this into... public static repeat layout table, right? Internal string markup. Right, and get, we're going to return a new repeat layout markup equals table. Right, so we just have a property called that. And actually write like this, like that. Oops. So I haven't forced it on it yet. If I did something like that, right? That works, but I'm gonna run into. That's not gonna work. Name of would be good, sure. Ooh, wait a sec. Look at that. Oh, we can do something with. Repeat layout dot table. That wasn't a bad idea. Let me go back over to here. You're right. I could turn markup, not a get set. Return name of this. Then I don't need to implement markup. Right. Why isn't it taking... Oh, Let's make this a get. So then markup equals... No. Yeah. Name of table. I would have to implement this. No, I don't want to do it name of. In the static property constructors. In the static property constructors. Oh. Wait a sec. What do you mean? Static property, I'm doing a get here. No. You're making this too confusing. Private set. Right, if I... Eh. 601, half dozen of the other one of those. So the error that was coming out was that it could not implicitly convert from string to repeat layout. So let's write that. Did you know you could do this? Public static operator. Oh yeah. Hey. Right, operator. And we're gonna get a repeat layout. String the string. Right? Implicit. Let's start with the implicit one. Spell implicit right, and we'll get somewhere. There we go. Yeah, I know. I need to return a repeat layout here. Make the constructor take the name. But if I make the... It's fine the way it is. Okay, so if I'm converting from a string to a repeat layout type, that's easy. So I'm going to say if the string. Well, let's do a switch on this. All right. I mean, I could do like a reflection across the various properties here. Switch on the string to lower invariant, right? So if it's table, return table. Case flow, return flow. Now, interesting that I've got, yeah, unreachable code. Yeah, but I shouldn't be. Return null if it can't find it in that list. Implicit conversion should never throw. I'm not going to throw. And if I need to go the other way from repeat layout to string, right? Public static implicit operator string repeat layout. This is simple. Return layout dot markup. Done. That's easy. So I think I'm okay there. So now, if I go back over to simple flow layout, yeah, flow does not exist in the current context. But if I rebuild now that I've got those conversions, I can now change this to. Now it's interesting to say it wants a constant for that. I can leave these like this and it'll still work. Because it's going to do that implicit conversion back and forth. Go back over here. Let's see if this works with taking that. No, it doesn't like it. Rats, rats, rats. Am I creating a new instance of repeat layout every time? Can it be stored? Well, it's creating a new one each time, sure. But it's a very simple, small object. Every time that it's being referenced, sure. I mean, if I did define and keep, right? Right, I can put that one there. And I could grab this one. Don't need the semi on the end. Right, and then I could return, right? Private, static, read only. Sure. Now I'm not creating it every time. Could be it wants a type converter. Could be. But now that works. Hey, good afternoon. Is that Demireless? Demirelness? Let me know how to pronounce that. Welcome. Do I want to show table tag if items.count equals 0? That's a good question, Kabazi. Let's go back to our running code. When we go to the data list and the output is right when there's 0 listed. Come on. So there's my data list for when there's a table layout. So the question is, do we still have the table when the count is 0? So let's go here. Let's make the count 0. Shared sample objects, models, widget, and let's just create a new array of those. Okay. And restart that. See what it looks like. There we go. Just display a no items message on 0 count. Well, is that how the control behaves? I don't know. So here's how the control behaves. Is it does output table, and the header, is there an empty? There is no empty template. So this is a very good point that you led us to there, Kabazi. Thank you for pointing this out. When there are no items, it outputs the header. I'm guessing it would output the footer if there's a footer template as well. Yeah. And it just doesn't output any items. So looking, let's write a test for that. And we've got to figure out this flow thing here as well. But that's a good catch that we should address here on the data list. So let's create another copy, and we'll call this no F2. Let's call this empty list. And in this case, the items is not that. The items will be new widget. So we have an empty collection that we're passing in. That should be fine. We should only have one TD. That's the header. And we should not get the rows in it. So let's rebuild that. Okay. Take a look at the test. So simple flow layout, that's failing because we're not done that yet. This should rebuild, we should see that go away. There's empty list. So it actually didn't even output the header, right? And we should also get the table to Kabazi's point. We should also, right? We should also get the table, right? I'm just going to pin the test explorer here, right? If we run just that test again, it should still fail, but we should see it pick up that we didn't output the table properly either. Yeah. Well, actually, it looks like we did output the table, I guess. Okay. So if I go back to Where'd it go? I'm gonna move the source for that over here. Okay, so we're in table, so it is outputting the table. Code rushed! Mark, my friend. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate sending over viewers over here. Thanks so much. Electric Havoc, good to see you. Code Rushed is another member of the Live Coders team. That's our friend Mark Miller, working on all kinds of cool stuff, usually around TypeScript, JavaScript, and some SignalR over there. How's it going, Mark? What were you working on today over on the Code Rushed channel? Can we get a shout out for Code Rushed here in this channel? Thank you so much for joining us. Good to see you, Raiders. Thanks for tuning in. So I do output the table, but I don't output the header template. So the header template, it looks like, needs to be inside of my if test here. Needs to be outside of it. Like that. I think that's right now. Now I can run the test and let's see what happens. Thank you, Robert Tables, for passing that along. Working on walls for the Dungeons & Dragons map engine. Oh, very cool. If you haven't seen Code Rush channel, he's been building a really neat Dungeons & Dragons engine so that folks can play a game, can run a role-playing game here on Twitch and get some really neat effects with dice rolling over the screen, and now building a map engine using all .NET and JavaScript technologies here. Very cool, Mark. Definitely have to tune in and check that out. Thanks so much for sharing with us. All right, so that test works now. So to Kabazi's question earlier, I think we've got that working. I think we're good there on that one. But I'm still not, right, the simple flow layout here. If I run that test, and we need to do a similar thing here, we need to make sure that the header is output properly when it's an empty list. But that's not working. Right, it's interesting it says component test when the test is first test. Unable to set property repeat layout on object. Wow. Unable to cast object of system string to repeat layout, but I changed that. It's now repeat layout.flow. Do I have to rebuild? Do I need to rebuild? Did we not get the thing through properly? You wish Twitch did a better job at indexing coders, programmers, game devs, and such. Well, iPod K, I hope I pronounced that right. Check out the Live Coders team. There you go. You can see the link just below my video. But folks like Code Rushed and Robert Tables are members of that team, and you'll find a whole huge list of developer folks there that you might be interested in watching. The science and technology is where is the category that we typically lurk in here on Twitch, and we're happy to share that feedback. There's definitely something there that we should work on with the Twitch folks. This feels weird. Unable to set property repeat layout. Did I? Repeat layout equals repeat layout table. So that all looks like it's working. Right? And this class looks legit. Right? That should have worked right there. Or is it over here on this? Can I say dot? Can I do that? Will that work better? So that should build, rerun, let's see. Oh yeah, and Belly.io has a good list as well. Belly.io is written by another member of the Live Coders, actually. Her name is Sushi Codes here on Twitch. Sometimes Sushi Day when she cooks on the weekends. So she's got two accounts, one that's cooking focused and one that's coding focused. That's our friend Allison Day. Yeah, we got to raid the pudding. Hello. Welcome. Eternal Dev Coder asks, is it easy for a streamer to join the Live Coders team? We try to make it easy. We want to make sure that folks have an easy opportunity, but they're committed to the platform, and they're more than just a splash in the pan. They're actually going to be writing code and doing some cool things to encourage learning, like a lot of us do here on the team. Thank you for the follow, the pudding. Appreciate that. Yeah, Sika Player got to see the team when we got together at TwitchCon 2019 in San Diego. We're planning some get-togethers in Amsterdam for TwitchCon 2020 and San Diego as well for both events. This is weird. It's not telling me where it's erroring out there, and it doesn't look like it's on the right. Doesn't look like it's. Oh wait. Hang on. No. Unable to cast object of string to repeat layout. Now, I added that. Or do I need the explicit with it as well? Right? Should this be capital string? Maybe? Is that what I'm missing? Let's see what happens. Thank you for the follow, Oricon. Appreciate you joining us. Plus C# Fritz. Oh, look at this. Well, when you put it that way, Sika Player, how can I refuse putting that up? I throw a hell of a good party. Yes, I do. Shishing Bagel. Hello, welcome. All right, so that's still errored out. Unable to cast object of type system string to repeat layout. All right, now you're gonna make me debug this, you punk. You punk, you. Debug. Show me what you got there. Come on. Throw that error. Hit right there. You know you want to. It'll make you feel good. There we go. So layout, is flow. So that should return the string flow. Wait a sec. Those are good. Okay. Repeat layout dot table as the default there. Good. Bang! There it is. Unable to set property repeat layouts. View details. Show me that exception. No inner exception on this one. Show me that stack trace. That's different. That's not what I was expecting. You're telling me type converter. You're late. Nah, that's okay. I don't want to write a type converter. Right? I mean, that's a C# type. It should pick it up and output it. Right? And if I do that, it's going to blow up and say, oh, I don't know what that type is. Oh, I'm running the web forms application. Rats. That's not what I wanted to do. Stop. Stop. I told you to stop. Right? Let's clean the solution and rebuild. See if we can get Test Explorer. Uppercase, upper lowercase on the casting operator. I don't think so. Right, when I'm casting in this direction, I to lower and force it over. But when I'm a string, when it's a string that I'm casting to, I grab the markup and just output it. See, look, it still sees that other one here. Why use Blazor when we have React, Vue, and Angular? Because, yeah, React, Vue, and Angular, and those are the three that we have that are popular this year. There's going to be 3 new ones that are popular next year. No, don't. The name flow does not exist in the current context there. It blew up because of that. But by putting that in there, right, that should be a thing that this now knows how to parse and handle. Yeah, React, Vue, and Angular are JavaScript frameworks, and folks like that, and they're very happy with that. However, folks are also really happy with writing code in C# in .NET. And they can target WebAssembly, and this stuff runs very, very fast. And they can reuse components from their .NET code down in here. So why not? Yeah. Still doesn't like that. So Blazor is a competitor. I don't think they're competing, but it provides the same functionality on the client side. Yes. Without all of the interpretation of JavaScript. It's compiled and running as a native DLL in the browser using WebAssembly. So, yep, alternative. That's a great term for it, Robert. That's it. Why won't that take? I feel like I need to close and reopen the solution here. Like something's not quite jiving right there. Oh yes, very different. Very, very different. So this is going to take a second or two to parse and run. There it goes. There's my data list. Simple flow layout. This is the one I'm interested in. Nope. Doesn't like that. Wow. Wow. So I'm returning a repeat layout. Single repeat layout coming out of that. What's interesting is these other ones do work. Oh, it won't jump me right to it. Right, so here's the data list, and I'm not specifying the data list here, the repeat layout. But because I am, it's not setting it properly based off of what that is. Do I have to put an @ in front of it? I hope I don't have to put an @ in front of it. If I have to put an @ that's gonna be ugly. Blazor is not tightly coupled with back-end code. Nope. I wouldn't say it's the inverse of Node.js. No. Nope, still doesn't like that. Wow. Right, even if I do something like this, so I can really force it. At this point, I'd rather make it a string. But we're into this very interesting problem now of, right, how do I receive one of these enumerable types here and start using it? And I don't think I do that. Right, list view has a select method on it. No. The repeater yeah. I don't think I need to put that up front anymore. Blazor does not compile to server and client side code. Blazor code compiles, and you can use it in 2 different frameworks. Right? These components that you write can compile and can work. The components can be installed and run in a server-side framework, and they can be installed and run in a client-side framework. So you have very flexible capabilities there. Okay, so yeah, that's my list view. It's this one here, trying to set this, it doesn't like. Okay, so what are we gonna, how do we make that work? Right, and if I made it just the word flow, yeah, it doesn't like it because, right, that string isn't that type. And if I turn the property over, what the heck? There we go. Wait a second. Right? I can run it like that and that'll work, right? Wait a sec. That's weird. Because it's like it already converted it. String does not contain a definition for markup. Right? Like, it sees this as a string. Go back to that output. We aren't even there yet. No, wait. No, that should work. Yes, Blazor requires, well, not .NET framework. It requires .NET. If you're running server-side, you're running on .NET Core. If you're running in the client, you're running on a stripped-down version of the Mono framework. You don't have to take care, you don't have to manage that. It gets deployed for you. Where is that coming from? String does not contain a definition for markup. Oh. Here. Mono is a version of .NET that was written many, many years ago by our friend Miguel de Icaza that that compiles and runs just about everywhere. It's the basis for many games that you might play as well. The Unity Unity programming model, programming tools use Mono. Should be 4, but was 5. Why did it find 5? 1, 2, oh, including the header. Yes. Now, I really don't like how that runs because I'm setting this up as a string, but I'd really like it to be an enumerable type like that, so I still get the same edit experience. Are you kidding? Oh, look at that. I want to find... Now, see, look, it found this huge list. It's a element. It should find just the... well... No, I want to find the second one of those. So I find the header. Can I do that? Is that... Skip one, take one, so I get the second one. And that should be the header. Okay, what was your error? It's an I element. Okay, then I don't want take one. I want first. Nah, there isn't a find. Yeah, I tried find one. There we go. So I don't couple the list with it. Well, the test is right there. I mean, the item list is right there. I know what it is. Right, and the idea is that list doesn't change. But this works now, flipping over into that repeat layout flow. But it still feels weird. Like, I don't like that like that. I would prefer if it was the enumerable type. But to keep things moving here, I'm gonna just let that go the way it is. Let me put another one in here for empty flow layout, so we can make sure that works properly. Right. So the items will be a new one of these that has no content. So we should get two spans coming back. The outer one and the inner one for the header. Now why don't you like that? Oh, please. Can I just do that? No. Go pound sand. That should work. Why don't you like that? We just did that with... What was the empty one that we did over here? For the repeater. Yeah. New widget. Yeah. Oh, wait a sec. My bad. Interesting. It still worked. Should get the empty flow list. Empty flow layout should work now. Build succeeded. Test run. Empty flow layout. Come on. Why don't you see that? Run it. Failed. Why? Should be 2, but was 1. Ah, okay, now we got a problem. So, yeah, there it is. The header template needs to go outside. Same thing that we did before. Right, so that should work now. Run that test. Yep, cross-platform mono is really great. But so is .NET Core. And that's one of the foundational things that you'll see coming with the next version of .NET, referred to as .NET 5. When that version comes out, Mono, Xamarin, .NET Core should all behave and run the same, just with different project models across. Looks good. All right. So I'm gonna close that. Let's close this. Let's clean up. We've been at this here for almost 4 hours. Let's wrap up here and call it a day for right now. I want to figure out what the deal is with that repeat layout. So let me check in my source code. We've added some new files. A couple of we've added new demonstration of what flow layout looks like for our DataList component we're building. And we've got some tests to go along with that we've built. So let me add all of these files. Yeah, they're all cute. Started working through the flow layout, let's say, for DataList. Cool. And that's all signed now thanks to the Yubikey that we configured earlier in the stream. So I now have that working and available. And you can go out to the repository here, and you will see here's the data list that we're working on. It's building right now over here on Azure DevOps, but you can see all the code that we're working on right here on GitHub. Have I heard anything new on the XAML Open Standard? Asks Mobab. No. Nothing new on that front. Yes, Mono is quite powerful. They've done a lot to open up the .NET framework, the .NET tools, so they work anywhere and everywhere. Ooh. An open issue for the repeat layout. What do you mean by this? Type converter for parameters. Oh, look. Yee. We'll have to take a look at this and see what we can do to address that issue that we're seeing where the type isn't converting properly. We like to make that something easy to use. It is a little bit unfortunate, Mobile. However, the folks who run Windows, the folks who run Xamarin, the folks who run .NET, all have very strong personalities, and they're having a hard time coming to a consensus as to what the XAML standard should be. So you won't hear folks talking about that until they have something that they're ready to move forward with. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in. This was really great today. I feel like we were productive. We got my Yubikey set up. We've got more done on our data list. Let's see who we're going to raid. Let's set up a raid. Go check in with some of our other friends here on Twitch that are writing code, that are doing something fun. Let me take a look at who we're following, who's out there. You know what? I want to raid someone. I want to raid someone who's doing something fun, something a little bit different. Is he still in here? I thought I saw him. No, he's not right now. Okay, let's raid. Wait, you know what? I got a Christmas present from this person. They are just a tremendous asset to us here on Twitch. Let's raid our friend InstaFluff. There's the raid call. Let me set this up to start the raid. He's talking about Christmas. He's doing some things there. It looks like he's writing a little bit of JSON. Always great fun to raid InstaFluff. If you're a subscriber, grab the first line from the bot right here, copy it onto your clipboard, get ready to announce your presence. If you're not, that's okay. Grab the second line right here with the bombs, copy it onto your clipboard. We're going to go say hi to InstaFluff. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in. This video, like my other videos, will be over on the YouTube channel. I've got them all queued up. That's what I'm spending the rest of my afternoon doing, is publishing videos on YouTube. So take care, everybody. I will see you tomorrow for a little bit more code, a lot more fun here on the channel. Take care.